We are going live and you are good.
Thank you.
Okay, are we up and running?
We are.
Okay, very good. We'll begin the planning committee meeting of Akron City Council. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the minutes of the previously held meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. We'll now go into the list of legislation, the regular list of legislation, of which we have no public hearings today. So given that, we do have an item though, I'd like to request that we take, let's go ahead. I believe Ms. Samples is on now. Is that correct?
She is.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and take a roll call, Sarah, even though we've already approved the minutes.
Sure. Fusco,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Swirsky, Baylor,
Aye.
Samples.
Aye.
All committee members are present except for Swirsky.
Okay, thanks. All right, very good. Back to the list of regular legislation. Requests that we take time on 1 through and including 3. Those are going to be up for a public hearing. Request that we, item number 4 is the public hearing that we had, that was conducted a few weeks ago. This is reference a property, a 2-family use at 119 South Maple Street. With regards to this particular property here, this is a request, obviously for a 2-unit. And the lot itself is below our typical standards. I believe, and Mr. Antonucci's on the line here, I believe our standard is like 7,000, and this is just a little over 6,000 square foot. Spoke to the ward person, have received some correspondence, and so I don't believe there's a real desire to pass this. As a matter of fact, probably to turn it down and to report an adverse report on this particular item. So if there's any questions or comments from anyone, but after discussing it with a ward person, as well as some community members, I think that's probably the best direction for us to go in. Is there any questions though, or comments from any committee members? None? Okay. From any council members, any questions or comments? Okay, I'm not seeing any raised hands here at this time. So with that, I'll respectfully request that we, is there a recommendation for an adverse report on item number 4?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that recommendation for an adverse report.
Thank you, Mr. Kamer. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of an adverse report on item number 4, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Against? Okay, thank you. Very good. Assuming we vote on that this evening, we'll then take time, or excuse me, file item number 5, which is the petition. And we'll take time on the balance of the agenda. However, we will move into the new list of legislation that's in front of us today. And the first item is ordinance amending the building line map as referred to in section 153 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Akron to change the established building line on parcel 70-02865 lot 33 on the Heron Crest allotment from 130 feet to 25. This is up for a public hearing on April 5th. So we'll refer that particular item. All those in favor of referring, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Go ahead and refer that item. The second item is ordinance authorizing conditional use to construct a parking lot at 376 North Arlington Street. This is also up for a public hearing on the 5th of April. All those in favor of referring for a public hearing signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you for that item. The third item is the ordinance amending supplementing 15, chapter 153 zoning code, forwarding Board of Zoning Appeals, section 153 jurisdiction variances by disallowing the application for variance after the prior conditional use request was denied by a city council. This is also up for a public hearing on April 12th. We'll refer that item. All those in favor of referring item number 3 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Very good. The fourth item is the ordinance authorizing the Director of Planning and Urban Development, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into an agreement for title appraisal and review appraisal services and acquisition relocation consultant services to carry out the community development program and other programs requiring such services. I believe Mr. Moretz may be available to us for question.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Fusco, committee members. My name is Glenn Moretz with the OID staff. I administered the bidding process for this. Every 2 years, we seek requests for proposals to award our services to carry out any programs we have, maybe economic development or residential or any of the engineering projects. This authorizes us to accept and award bids to the professional services companies that we need for our real estate needs. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from any committee members? Any questions? Okay, any council members have any questions or comments? Mr. Malik?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Moretz, thank you for being here. And I know that I saw your email from earlier, but I know that it's hard to tell what the total cost for these services will be, because that obviously changes depending on, how many transactions are done. But are those costs generally borne by the city? Are they generally split? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. And just to let some of the other committee members know, we had a question as to why there wasn't a dollar amount on this contract. And the reason being is it's on an as-needed basis. What we actually have on the table right now is our title services contract, and the amount will vary. If we send them 10, 20, 30, 50 closings, that'll dictate how much they get. So they're on an as-needed. This one, I believe the contract, what they would receive is going to be under 50,000 typically, but it can vary. Most notably, they are doing all of our closings for a lot for a little in the mo to own, and we have a big push to try to unload some of this unneeded land to cut down on our maintenance. So we'll probably have a little higher year this year with them because we're disposing of so many lots. So therefore the contract may be a little larger this year, but we really don't know. And it's work driven. The more work we have, the more we send to them. So it really varies in the amount from year to year.
Thank you, sir. And can you clarify, are typically these title fees, split between the parties? Are they usually on the purchaser of the land?
I'm sorry. No, we incur these costs as part of this. Certain things we have to pay for. If it's an eminent domain purchase, a potential one, we by law have to pay all the closing costs. And we typically will elect to pay a lot of these fees for filing. If we do like a mo to own, some of these are built into the contract. They'll give us the $32 filing fee where they pay for the deed. We give a, what do we call it? An accommodation filing, which is like $10 to the title company. But we typically bear all these costs. And they get associated with whatever project it is. Like the last one I did, we had an engineering project. We needed 3 easements filed. That all got charged back to the project, and it's accounted for in our in the cost of the project. We realize we will have some title services fees, and they will go back and get reallocated to whoever originated the work. But we typically pay all their fees.
Thank you for the information, sir. I know it's meticulous work, so thank you for all
Yeah.
your hard work.
No problem. Anytime you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Moritz. Further questions or comments? Okay, very good. I do know also that we're going to be OID with their mission to open it up to all, to everyone. As they're going to be making a special push to see to it that everyone is included in terms of bidding and trying to work with everyone. So Mr. Moritz and I spoke this morning about that. And so I know that's going to be part of the initiative here. So let's hope that we can see some new people helping out. So with that, Mr. Moritz, is consent agenda okay, or?
Consent would be fine. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept for consent agenda.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Against?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moritz, for all your hard work. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you all. Sarah, it's your turn.
Okay, our next committee for today will be the Public Service Committee, and that will begin at 1 o'clock. Those committee members are Samples, Kamer, Swirsky, Lombardo, and McKittrick. So we will end our live stream and come back at 2 o'clock.